fans, welcome back everyone, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that break, hope you took that time to prepare yourselves because we are not done, we are merely beginning. Up next, we have our next matchup. We have our player of choice for Team Korea. It is Dark. Dark versus MaxPax is up next in a fresh best of 5. Predictions are likewise open. Predictions are open. Place your bets. Best of luck on how you think this series is going to go, how it's going to progress, and I'm ready. I'm excited. I love the idea here. Okay, so we have to put things into perspective. There are only Terran players left after MaxPax, and Hero did just win ESL Open Cup Asia against Bjorn in the finals, and I do think Hero has better PvT than Dark has ZvT. I think Dark has been struggling a little bit more against Terran. I do think that his best matchup, or his better matchups, are against Zerg and Protoss, so we need to field out Dark first, hopefully take down MaxPax, and then Hero can have his way with the other Terran players. But here we go, spawning in the bottom left hand corner of Solaris. We have in the bottom left hand corner of Solaris, we have the South Korean Zerg player representing CranKy Gaming, but also representing Team Korea. It is Dark. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Danish Protoss player. He just took down not just Solar but also Maru, the red Protoss representing the world. It is MaxPax. Again, you have seconds to predict. The predictions have been open for a couple of minutes now. Don't forget to place your bets if you do want to take part in this. Best of luck once again on predictions as we are getting into game 1 of this fresh best of 5. Again, as I mentioned before, I do think it's a wise choice here to send out Dark. I think Hero in a PvP is too risky. I think PvPs can be very chaotic and very unpredictable. We just saw yesterday Hero struggle and fall against a Protoss player in WTL. If you remember, last night Hero got 2-0'd by Hearthstone. He got 2-0'd by Hearthstone, so clearly his PvP or PvP in general can be quite shaky. So sending out Dark instead here, I think, is a wiser choice, keeping Hero in the backline for the remaining players. Meanwhile, MaxPax has already done well. He's already done so well for himself. He's already taken down 2 big names. Is he greedy? Can he get even more done? Do we even need to field the Terran players for the world? Do we even can Clem and Oliveira go to bed? Can they go to bed, Spappy? Are they even needed? We're gonna find out. We are to find out. For now, Hatch Gas Pool out of Dark, standard opener, unnatural of course, but outside of that, everything is looking as it should. Meanwhile, across the map, likewise, a standard opener out of our Protoss player as well. Gate, Cyber, Expand. Nothing too crazy, and it is going to be a Stargate opener. We've spoken about this before, but again, when it comes to MaxPax's PvZ, it is very by the book. He isn't one to go for any kind of quirky robot openers or any committed Twilight Council openers either. He's a lot more straight up, so yeah, I expect a Stargate opener for almost every game. Actually, every game, actually. Even if we go the distance, even if we go all the way to game 5, that is what I expect to be seeing, but we'll see. We'll see what he brings to the table. As 2 Lings do slip into the main base, they confirm the tech, they confirm the Stargate. Boys are being pulled, and the Lings will survive long enough to scout the first unit, or at least they're trying to, as we have an Oracle on the way, and the Ling will not see it. It will go down. But we can assume an Oracle. As Dark is getting ready back at home, we have a second Queen on the way here at the Natural. We have 1 Queen so far in the main, but we should be seeing another Queen momentarily as well. Just help defend, help out with that anti-air. Here we go. First Oracle is zooming across the map using those speed zones as well to help make its way across the map as well. At least the first speed zone is going to get out. We do see Lings get us around on these adepts, but the Oracle comes in to support. One adept goes down. A good catch here from Dark. We have 6 more Lings in production to help deal with said adepts and also get across the map and try to punish this third base. We'll see if Dark can do so. Meanwhile, the Oracle gets Lings, gets a bit of Larva as well. The economy for Dark is looking good. Or, I mean, the economy is untouched, but these Lings are flooding across the map. We throw down a very fast Roach Warren as well. 4-minute Roach Warren. Gases are being taken. Dark is looking to be very aggressive here in game 1. He's angry. He's upset. Dark got knocked out by Hero earlier today in East 11 Cup Asia, and he wants to vent his frustrations here on MaxPax. It's nothing personal. You're just a Protoss. As Overlord's about to finish up, and Dark is waiting. He's banking up his larva, waiting for the Roach Warren to finish, and then bam! Nothing but roaches are on the way. There it is. 8 roaches in production for Dark. The Lings are amassing. Queens are waddling across the map as well as we are going all in. And can we prepare back at home? We have 1 shield battery. We have another shield battery on the way at the natural. The Oracles do spot the all-in. They do spot the Queens as we are taking advantage of these speed zones, waddling everything across the map. One way or another. Dark is looking to at least kill the third. If he kills the third, he can drone from there. If he kills MaxPax, well then he wins the game. So here we go. How many queens do we have? We have 5 queens, 7 roaches, 3 ravagers, and Lings making their way across the map. And so far, one of the stalkers does get caught out. A bit of an overextension from MaxPax. Lings applying pressure to that natural, looking to force out an overcharge if possible as well. Biles will connect. They take down the first shield battery, the second shield battery even. As we rotate over towards that natural base again, the Queens are covering the Void Ray. The Void Ray goes down. Shield battery as well. We have broken into the natural, but no, we actually divert our attention over towards the main army. We're going for the third. And the Queens are still standing. Pylon goes down. Shield battery is depowered, and we are running out of room to go back to Kite's back. There is no blink. There is no blink. 5 stalkers remain. More Lings are coming out. We do have a couple of stalkers coming in to reinforce from behind, but the Lings will catch them. And it looks like this third base will fall. The Biles don't quite connect, but again, the Nexus is going to go down. MaxPax, he recalls back to his natural. And the Queens, they can waddle back home. Dark is transitioning. Evo Chamber, Lair, he should be droning. And there it is, 3 drones are in production. I mentioned before that Dark was looking to at least kill the third, and he did just that. Ooh, meanwhile, MaxPax counterattacking here, going to be getting quite a number of workers. Meanwhile, Dark hasn't turned around. He turned around with his Queens, but his Lings and Roaches, they stand strong. They take down the Cybercore. Ooh, more drones are falling though. Dark, his economy is not looking too good. He needed to preserve his units, and 7 drones went down. And MaxPax still maintaining himself. Maintaining an economic lead. As the dust settles, who do I favor in this position? I think Dark has a slight lead here. He's catching up in workers, and his economy isn't ideal, but it's still going to take a while for this third base to really kick in. And Dark should be able to saturate his third by the time the third base of MaxPax finishes. On top of that, the Lair is done. We have the Lair, we have +1 on the way, we should have Roach speed in production soon as well. So tech-wise, Dark is not looking too bad either. And now the Queens have made their way back home. He can keep up with the Oracles. He shouldn't lose too much more from here. It's on MaxPax, and here we go. Blink is done. He's moving out with his army. He has 18 Stalkers. There's a lot of potential. A lot of potential with this army from MaxPax. We'll see what he can get done. For now, tumors. Getting a couple of tumors here and there. Going to be reinforcing with some stasis traps. Maintaining his position. Hydra then is thrown down behind this, so Roach Hydra is going to be the composition of choice for Dark. Again, Hydras, they can trade well against these Stalkers, especially if there are Lings and Roaches to support them. Meanwhile, Dark is getting fully saturated. He's up to 60 workers. We're going to be looking for around 66 saturation, 66 drone saturation, and a 4th base. Speaking of, Dark is setting up for that 4th, sending that drone over towards that location. Decent biles here, going to be delaying MaxPax. He even takes some to the face. MaxPax has to be careful, as the biles are never ending here from... Oh my god. Max is basically back up. As MaxPax is taking a 4th base behind this. And Dark, ooh, is going to be connecting with biles, and he has Hydras in production. He doesn't throw down the 4th. He's focusing on his army, building up that Hydra count, going for a Ling counterattack, but there are units in position. Oh. And I'm loving the staggered biles here from Dark, but he loses a Ravager. Clutch transfuse. Hydra's looking to come in from behind, trying to set up a wraparound. But that's where the stasis traps come into play. There are 4 stasis traps, and some of them are going to go off. There we go. Nice bait on the 1st. 2nd one goes off. The 3rd as well. Dark will still force this back, but he cannot catch the Stalkers. And this 4th base is getting up and running. Dark has a large army, but he does not have a good economy. Still only on 3 bases. He needs to make this push work. As he moves out, War Prism is slipping into the main, but the Queens are in position! War Prism does not get into the main. There is a Zealot run by heading towards the 4th base, and Dark is committed. And supply blocked. The supply block is brutal. Biles going to be able to buy a little bit of breathing room here, and this base is going to go down. At the same time, those Zealots, they bust into the natural. MaxPax, he may lose his 3rd base, but he's getting damage done. The Queens, they're holding on. Queens are holding. 4th base is still alive. Dark can rotate around, but there are Zealots now hitting the 3rd. Oof. A lot is just crippling Dark's economy. He's still all in. He's still very all in. As he does try to push on forward. He's losing ground here on the right-hand side, but over towards the left, he's pushing through, but Nova goes up. Nova does go off, and Dark is pulling MaxPax apart. Giving him a hard time just defending both locations at once. Overcharge is going to run out as well. It does run out, and Dark, can he barely break this position? The Oracles are falling. Zealot Warp in comes in to reinforce. And MaxPax is being pinned back. We need some more reinforcements, Poppy. The Nova! No! Big Nova goes off. Massive connection. And is that enough? I think it is. Yeah, MaxPax, he does hold. If it wasn't for that Nova, potentially Dark breaks him here and now. But Dark has to turn back around, and he has to drone. He's got a lot of droning to do. Now, thankfully, Dark did kill a base. He did kill a Nexus. He also forced a lot of warp-ins. And MaxPax doesn't have the best tech available. Even though he was squeezing out some disruptors, he was losing them. Bear that in mind. There are 0 disruptors on the field. Even 1 disruptor could make the world of difference. This is still anyone's game. Dark is amassing an army. Even though Dark has a higher army supply, bearing in mind, a lot of that is roaches. A lot of that is inflated supply. But MaxPax isn't making any more disruptors. He's still focusing on a mainly Stalker army. Here we go, he's pushing out. He wants to try to take down the 4th. the same time, Zealot run back here towards the south as well. Oh, a lot of Hydras are going down. Oh, but the position is too good. Oof. And Dark is holding. And he's teching. Infestation mid on the way. Hive tech on the horizon. That Prism is such a nuisance. It's been keeping Dark back for so long. He's trying to catch it. But as MaxPax backs off, both players can breathe. We can see Dark just taking control of his 4 bases. MaxPax, he is saturating his own 4th. Now, Dark isn't droning up. He's still on a 3-base economy. He's still on 64 workers. He's getting ready for all-in number 3. The 3rd wave. It's coming. And here we go. He split up his forces. Trying to apply pressure here on the left-hand side. At the same time, he catches MaxPax out of position, forces a recall. Oh, and that does expose the left-hand flank. Yeah, Dark, he will get on top of this Nexus. MaxPax, he was just being spread far too thin. He catches the workers, catches the base, pushes it on the right-hand side, and MaxPax, he's being pulled apart. Dark has done it. It took a lot. It took a lot of all-ins out of Dark. He refused to drone. MaxPax refused to die until now. The army has been swallowed up. GG gets called, and Dark takes game number 1. GG. GG, well played. MaxPax doing so well for himself, defending for so long. But the previous fight before this was very messy. He was losing disruptors, losing bases. That was enough for Dark to really establish himself. Ooh. And here in the follow-up, Dark refused to drone. He was doubling down once again on just building up another army for a 3rd wave. And MaxPax was just not expecting it. He was not ready for it. Was hoping that his opponent would just give him more time. And he didn't. And with that, Dark takes game 1. Oh. Takes game number 1, and that's a good start. It's a good start for Dark and Team Korea, but at the same time, it's a best of 5, and we still have plenty more ahead of us. Plenty more going on. Here we go. Game 2. Ooh, Equilibrium. The gold map. Let's go. Game 2 is going to be on Equilibrium, and oh boy, can MaxPax fight back? Can Dark take advantage of this gold base and actually use it to overcome his opponents? To wind back the clock, if you remember at the start of this broadcast of the Cao Shuai Cup of Korea versus the world, we did cast Solar versus MaxPax on this very map. And if you remember, Solar did get away with the gold, but he stayed on Lair Tech. He stayed on Lair Tech. He was going Ling Hydra, and he failed to break MaxPax. He was unable to kill him, and MaxPax did end up taking that game. Despite Solar mining freely from the gold, it was not enough. So we'll see how Dark approaches this instead. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Equilibrium, we have the South Korean Zerg player representing, at times, CranKy Z Gaming, but here representing Team Korea, it is Dark. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Equilibrium, we have his opponent. We have the Danish Protoss player representing the world. It is MaxPax. Here we go. Ooh. As MaxPax is looking to deny the base, Dark going straight for the gold? Oh my, this is a bold move from Dark. He doesn't take the gold as his 3rd, he takes it as his natural. I don't know if he can get away with this, actually. This is going to be spotted. This is going to be scouted. And now the onus is on MaxPax to punish this, and Yeah, for this space to be the natural, this is gonna be crazy. Okay, I'm curious. Do we go for a 2-gate opener? I'm curious if we do go for a second gateway. For now, it's gonna be a gate expand into a cyber core. Not a 2-gate opener here out of MaxPax. Okay, interesting. You have my attention. Oof. Now, so far, over the past 2 weeks, we have seen players attempt to take this base as their natural and fail. We have recently seen players take this as their third and succeed. But yeah, as the natural, that's a bold move out of Dark. We'll see. We'll see if we can piece it together. Link speed is on the way. He's going to be Maydarding his drones over towards said gold base. Queens are in production. And interesting. Okay, MaxPax is going to be not skipping Warp Gate. He's going for a Stalker first. He's going to be denying the Scout and going for a Twilight Council opener. Now, as he sets up a Twilight Council opener, Dark, he Maynards and fully saturates this gold, and he's going for a Link Flood. He's going all in. He's not going to give the chance. Oh my, okay. He cancels Warp Gate. He's going for a Stargate instead. But the Lings are coming, and we need a ground army. And MaxPax doesn't know. He doesn't know that Dark is just flooding Lings across the map. Link speed is still a ways off. Dark still saturating that gold. Overlord will go down. Big supply block for Dark. Dark, did he see the Stargate? He did. He did confirm the Stargate. Link speed still on the way. The goal here is for Dark to catch this army, get into the natural, get on top of this pylon if possible, and shut down the production. But the wall is a wall. Just in time. The Lings arrive, but things are looking quite solid here. We have another pylon. We should be able to wall off behind the Stalker. Now these Lings, they can kill the Stalker, but they shouldn't get much else. Behind this, Dark is droning. Now, was this worth it? Becomes the question. Because Dark, he cut a lot of workers to make this work. You can see that MaxPax is ahead in the worker count. The goal base helps make up for that. But Dark did invest a lot into these Lings, and he got a Stalker for it. He is delaying the third. To be fair, the third is delayed from MaxPax. But can he cancel it? I don't think we have enough Lings for it. As, yeah, MaxPax, he maintains his economic lead. He's going across the map with the Oracle. Doesn't find anything here. That's the third, or would-be natural base of his opponents. There are 2 queens in position, though. And the Oracle doesn't find any damage here at the gold either. We do have a very fast Twilight Council. This is looking like Glaives, which, again, I do appreciate. Twilight Council is about to finish up. Show us the Glaives, Papi, or what kind of direction do we want to go in? No, we go up. There it is. Mate, I was about to freak out when we saw Blink. I was like, what? He's crazy. But yeah, Glaive Adepts, it all makes sense. Reasoning for this is a no forge, no +1. Delayed third. Glaive Adepts is the thing that makes the most sense, and Glaive Adepts is a great way to punish these bases. Oh boy, +1 melee's on the way. We've hit the 5-minute mark. No Roach Warren. Very greedy here from Dark. We should be seeing a Roach Warren soon. If we don't, Dark may just die. 5 worker kills. 4th hatchery on the way. Dark being very greedy here. 4th hatchery, macro hatch, and a lair. It looks like Dark wants to go Ling Hydra. The longer this game goes on without a Roach Warren, the more concerned I am for Dark. Here we go. The Adepts are moving out. Bailey Nest just now starts. And here we go. The jig is up. MaxPax, he has revealed his hand. And Dark, can he defend? 14 Lings are in production. What do we go for? Do we go for the gold? Do we go for the natural? Do we go for the main? Looks like we're going for the natural base. Lings are in position. They get us around. But the Oracles help clean up, and all the Lings go down. For the price of an Oracle. Yo, we can even take down these queens. We commit to the shade. We have adepts here at the natural. We have adepts in the main base as well. The lings go down. And we haven't killed too many workers yet, but we're getting there. Oh, we are getting there. Drones are now falling in the main base. There is no escape. There are still adepts here at the natural as well. Dark on one base economy, only the gold. And this is too much. This is game-ending damage. Again, I have not seen a player take this gold base as a natural and live to tell the tale, and it's not happening here either. Not happening. As the adepts are finally being cleaned up, but MaxPax has double the worker count of Dark, and Dark has no tech. He doesn't have a Hydrogen, doesn't have a Spire, doesn't have a Roach Warren. He has Lingbane. Lingbane is all he has to work with, and we'll see if we can make some magic happen. Now Blink isn't done, so maybe maybe we can pull something off here. Maybe we can bring something together. Meanwhile, MaxPax is just getting further ahead. He takes a fourth base. Blink is kicking in. He's moving out. As he moves out, Dark is going to be getting ready for a counterattack, hoping to maybe force a recall. There's potential. As Dark is just very all in. Banelings are on the way. Stalkers do make their way across the map, but we have a lot of links to support. Can Dark pull this off with Mass Ling? Against Glaive Adepts, it's not looking too great. Banelings are waddling in. Do we have a reaction? Up. 5 workers go down. The Lings do get a full surround. But we can blink onto the other side of these rocks. Oh, we don't even need to. We don't even need to, as so many links go down. Again, these Glaive Adepts do so well supporting the Stalker army. Dark still just massing pure Ling. And hey, he's got a lot of it's impressive. It's impressive how many Lings Dark has cranked out. The gold base, really paying off. Trying to set up a surround as well. +2 soon to kick in, but not ready yet. As Dark bleeds out far too many Lings. He's lost 138 Lings in this fight. Crazy. We blink into the main. Banelings are waddling in. How good are the splits? And they're going to be good enough. They are more than good enough. GG gets called. MaxPax does take game number 2, tying up the series 1-1. GG. GG, well played. And again, Dark was just being far too cavalier, too crazy, trying to expand and take the natural, take the gold as his natural. Wild. Illegal. We've seen a couple of players try it. No one has succeeded. Not yet. Not even Dark. Not even Dark. With that, we are now getting ready for game number 3. Again, Dark just having a little bit too much fun on Equilibrium. But now we're getting into game number 3. It's going to be on Alcyone. Let's go. Even if MaxPax loses here, he already did his job. Yeah, MaxPax has already done so well for himself. He took down Maru, right? That's already an amazing performance out of MaxPax. But I do think Dark is going to be quite a bit of a challenge against him. You can even argue in that last game that I was more on Dark just being too adventurous, and maybe not respecting MaxPax enough to try to pull off that goal base. MaxPax punished him for it. And here we go, getting into our next game. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Alcyone, we have the South Korean Zerg player representing Team Korea here in this Team League match. It is Dark. And spawning in the top right, we have his opponent. We have the Danish Protoss player fighting back in that last game, tying up the series 1-1, representing the world. It is MaxPax. Here we go. I love this from Dark. Dark does this quite often. It is a bit inefficient, but basically if the probe goes in for a scout, then he can expand and take the natural base. Alas, he does, or he is forced to expand here at the third base location. MaxPax did not move out. As Dark is just setting up a hatch gas pool opener. Again, a little bit inefficient, some lost mining time, but outside of that, into a standard opener. Behind this, we should be seeing a standard opener as well. When it comes to the build that MaxPax went for in that last game, to go for Glaive Adepts after a Stargate opener, it was purely to punish Dark, to punish that gold. I don't expect to see that again, unless we see another greedy opener out of Dark. I bring that up because there is a gold base here as well. There's potential to try to sneak out a gold as well on Alkioni. Interesting that Cyril and Maru haven't been the leaders of their respective teams in this great tournament. Kind of. I mean, you know, when was the last time Cyril beat Solar? Like, that's the important thing about this this team league match. That's what's so much fun about it, is that like every player is an ace player. I feel like every player is world class, and they can beat the other. You know, I mentioned this day one. I was like, yo, anyone here can beat Cyril, like realistically. And even Cure went to the ace match against Cyril. They went all the way to game 5, and even game 5 was really close. It could have been a Cure win to begin with, actually. Even likewise, same against Maru, same against MaxPax as well. For everyone, it's just some big names. And it's one of those things where they usually don't like play together just because they're all on different teams. You know, they're all spread out, so we just don't really get this kind of format too often. Even in World Team League, right, all these players, they're like ace players for their own respective teams, right? You got Clem for Team Liquid, you have MaxPax for Sidestorm Gaming, you've got Dark and Hero for DragonKy Z, you've got Maru for Onside, right? They're all spread out, so it's really cool to see them all come together like this. Good stuff. The battle of the aces, but let's go. As MaxPax is just going for a Stargate opener into a third base, nothing too crazy. Third base was taken a little bit earlier, so a bit of a greedier opener here from MaxPax. The Lings are here to try to punish this. Probe escapes though. The punish is not real, and the third base is going to get up and running. Lings are harassing, yes, and we may force the activation of the Pulsar Beam. But overall, greedy opener out of MaxPax, and he gets away with it. Ooh, behind this, a very early Roach Warren. 4-minute Roach Warren out of Dark. Here we go. The aggression is on once again. The creep is spreading. I'm feeling another Queen Walk. Oh boy. Here we go. The other important thing, because this first Oracle was forced to spend its energy back at home defensively, we don't have a scout. We don't see how fast this Roach Warren is. Gases are being taken, queens are being brought to the front lines. The assault is upon us. Now, just like game 1, the goal here, break the third. The goal here is to break the third base, potentially break into the natural if we see an opportunity, but killing the third will give us leeway, will give Dark leeway to drone up behind this. And here we go. 8 roaches are on the way, the queens are welding across the map. The Lings do get here first, but they have to be careful not to throw themselves away, as the move out has been spotted. The all-in has been seen. And MaxPax is getting ready. Shield batteries are being thrown down. Cannons as well. Can he pull off a defense? As Dark is still all in. Again, I say all in, but like the minimum amount of damage that Dark is looking for is to break the third. That's a lot of stack defense. And here we go. It takes a while. The queens have got quite a ways to waddle. They have quite a ways to waddle, but they're getting involved. They're getting in there, Bappy. Sentries are thrown down. Force fields are available, but they're going to be knocked down by these Ravagers. Overcharge is popped. One queen does get caught out. There is no transfuse. No creep for it. But Dark, he has to wait out the overcharge before diving on this army once again. And there's not enough engine for force fields. Biles, they connect, they take down the cannon, the shield battery, the Lings, they close the distance. But we have more cannons finishing. Yeah, the cannons are doing a great job cleaning up the Lings. And a MaxPax is coming in from behind as well. Another Ravager falls. Dark, he's running out of steam. I say that, but here come the reinforcements. The cannon goes down, the Stalkers are falling, and it looks like with these Ling reinforcements, Dark has broken the third base. Well, the question becomes, what does MaxPax have afterwards? What does he have left over? Void Ray is on the way. The Queens are going to have to start waddling back home. Otherwise, we won't have any anti-air. Queens, you got to get out of here. Sticking around a little bit longer. Ensuring we get a kill on the Nexus. And GG gets called. MaxPax taps out and Dark takes game number 3. GG. Oh, that's what I was concerned about. So there is a big difference here between game 1 and game 3. It's the same kind of all-in from Dark, but this time MaxPax lost his army. He lost all of his Stalkers. In game 1, MaxPax, he preserved his army. He preserved his Stalkers, which meant that he could get into a longer game. He still lost, but he could try to recover and take a third and counterattack as well. Here, though, he committed very hard to holding on to his third. He stood his ground, and he lost everything. He lost everything. GG gets called. Dark is 1 game away from taking the series and knocking MaxPax out. Here we go. Game 4 on Hecate. Vámonos, papi, vámonos. Also, thanks for letting us know. We missed out on Solar versus MaxPax game 1. If you remember, we were casting ESL Asia, so we missed out on game 1 and game 2 of Solar versus MaxPax. So we weren't able to see what happened in those games. But regardless, here we go. We're getting into the next game here. Potentially the final game of the series. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Hecate, we have the South Korean Zerg player. The blue Zerg 1 game away from knocking out his opponent in this Team League match. Representing Team Korea, it is Dark. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Danish Protoss player representing, or usually representing Sidestorm Gaming, but here he's representing the world. He needs to fight back here and now to force the ace match. It is MaxPax. Here we go. Now, Queen walks on this map are a lot more uncommon. The rush distance by ground is a lot longer, so I expect to see a different game here out of Dark as he goes for a hatch first. No pylon block, no pro block here, so Dark is actually allowed to expand. Yo, MaxPax, he's crazy. Oh my god. Okay, so we have a much more straight up hatch gas pool opener here from Dark. I'm sure going to be feeling a little more comfortable in the early game as he's able to expand where he wants to. And we'll see how MaxPax decides to open up this time here, as MaxPax is playing in the dark. No probe scout whatsoever. It'll be a gate expand into the cyber core. Should be into a Stargate opener from here as well. Should be looking for, again, a standard start at a MaxPax. Our eyes really here are on Dark. At the drop of a dime, he's willing to go all in. And even though I mentioned that going for a queen walk here on Hecate is ill-advised, There are different forms of all-ins. You know, there's Link Queen Nidus all-in, for example. There's Dropper Lords to bypass the rush distance, to bypass the ramp even as well, to drop across the map with a fast lair. There is a lot available for Dark if he did want to be hyper or very aggressive. But I expect to get into the mid game. Here we go. For now, again, Stargate opener out of MaxPax. Kind of what we expect. We should be seeing an Oracle as well from MaxPax. Dark behind this, going for his third base. Interesting location, actually. Typically, we see the linear third base taken, but Dark is going for the triangular third. With this, he will have faster crease spread across the map. This is set up for a queen walk, actually. Once you take this third base, there's not really that many tumors you need to get across the map to the bases of your opponent. Meanwhile, MaxPax doesn't go Oracle first for the first time this series. Void Ray. He didn't even do this against Solar. Void Ray first. With the Void Ray, he can shut down the Overlord. He will keep the follow-up in the dark, or he will keep Dark in the dark when it comes to what comes next. And what will come next? I imagine it's still going to be an Oracle after the Void Ray. Yeah, there we go. It's still going to be an Oracle. Unless we cancel. As again, the Void Ray will just gain map control, shut down Overlords, and the third base is being taken. Everything is still looking as it should. There's a very fast lair. There it is. What is that? 3:45 lair timing very early on. This could be for a couple of different things. This could be for Nidus. We mentioned before, Nidus all-in could be imminent here from Dark. We could go for some non-dropper lords. There's no Overlord speed. So I'm feeling Nidus here from our Zerg player. Void Ray does get across the map, is going to attempt to get some scouting information, and it may come across the lair. Big scout here from MaxPax. Even without the Oracle, he gets across the map. He confirms the lair timing. He knows that something is wrong. Gases are being taken. If we see a third gas, this could be a Hydra rush. That's the other thing it could be. Dark has been rushing Hydras recently. Nope, but there's an Nidus. Only 2 gases, not 3, so not Hydras. Nidus instead. And now MaxPax needs to prepare back at home. We have an Overlord going into the main. We have additional Lings and Queens in production. Dark is supply blocked. A really bad moment to be supply blocked right now. 5 Overlords on the way. Ay, ay, ay. Those could have been more Lings. Those could have been more Queens. Lings are making their way across the map. Shield batteries are on the way as well for MaxPax. He's got his Void Ray in the main, ready to shut down the Overlord. And he does come across it. Big pick off here for MaxPax. Gets the Overlord. Not a good start for Dark. He's running out of room. Oh, never mind. And Nidus gets thrown down, but it will be spotted by MaxPax as well. And it looks like he will shut it down. He's not just with the Void Ray, but with the Stalkers as well. The longer this goes on, the worse it is for Dark. He needs to pull this off. He needs to commit. Another Nidus.
Glorious combat is upon us.
Oh, he's droning. Oh, that's Dark, this is a rough time to drone, but it looks like Dark has recognized he cannot end the game. Nidus will finish. Queens are pushing forward. Oof. Yeah, droning. He's down 20 workers, or down 11 workers. Dark, can he break this third? Stasis trap goes off. There's no shot. No way he breaks the third base. And Dark knows it. He backs off. And Dark is going right for the infestation pit. Infestors. I'm feeling infestors on the way. We have roaches in production as well, or the roach warren at least. Dark is behind. And MaxPax is looking strong. Again, it was very important that the Void Ray got the scout off. I don't think Dark was expecting that. I think, especially because it was a Void Ray first, usually the Void Ray only hunts down Overlords and it doesn't actually commit into the main. So, very fortunate, or very wise, or very, Again, really good play, good decision making out of MaxPax to actually go all the way in and confirm what was happening. Meanwhile, Lings are vying for map control. There are those infestors in production. Again, we desperately need to be insanely cost efficient, and infestors with fungals will help with locking down these stalkers. Dark can take a good fight once he gets his infestors out. He needs to wait. He needs time. Here we go. Stasis Trap does go off. MaxPax forced back. Dark still droning, saturating his third. He's working on a fourth. He's slowly catching back up. But MaxPax, he's taking into second Robo and Robotics Bay into double Colossus production. The army of MaxPax is just getting stronger and stronger. Lings are doing what they can. Roaches as well. Dark is trying to engage again. He's looking for a fungal, but alas, he just can't quite find one. How many infestors do we have? 3. 3 infestors. They are waddling out. Queens are holding on. And so far, Dark, I mean, he's defending well. The problem is this. Zealot run by Dark. He's having a hard time splitting up his forces, defending both locations at once. Roaches have arrived, but the Void Ray shows up. Void Ray does show up, and thankfully there are Queens in position, so the Void Ray should be dealt with. We have enough for Transfuse. Impressive stuff here. Darky's holding. He even throws down a couple of bios just in case, just so he can keep up. He is being stretched thin, but he holds. Zealot drop into the main. MaxPax, he backs off, but again, he's far ahead in supply. Also, I said double Colossus production. We have Colossus and Disruptors being made. One at a time. A bit of everything. Dark, he's trying to rush into Lurkers. Into a hive. And honestly, this is really good tech that he's working towards. But MaxPax is going to max out. Oh, and he's going for a Fleet Beacon and a Stargate as well. He's getting further ahead. MaxPax, he knows. He's on 4 bases. He's taking up even further. He's maintaining his lead. Oh, good fungal. Colossus does go down. Oof. Nova will not connect. Meanwhile, we do have a Zealot warp into the main base of Dark. Drones are going down. Decent files, but the Disruptors, they will zone Dark away. Yeah, the hatchery falls. Dark, he just cannot push into this. Not into these Disruptors. And now we have carriers on the way. Our Prism goes down. There's a weight off of Dark's shoulders. Lurkers are on the way. They have been spotted. No! Big Nova goes off. Massive connection. Dark trying to come in for a surround, and he will collapse on these units. Another Nova goes off, but he gets the Disruptors. He gets a Colossus. A good engagement out of Dark, but he did take a lot of losses in the process, and I don't know if he could afford that. He's still on 3 bases. 1 Disruptor survives. And as amazing as these Lurkers are, like, if MaxPax was staying on the same composition, I would give Dark a chance. But carriers are on the way. 3rd Stargate as well. We're just banking up carriers, and we have no anti-air. We have Queens. No Spire, no Corruptors, very few Hydras. Can Dark survive? That's the name of the game right now. Can he somehow survive this? Can he survive the first carrier push? He's got spores on the way, Lurkers. Like, you can see Dark, he's trying to fortify himself. He's trying to completely turtle up. Spine crawlers, spore crawlers, Lurkers. But now here we go. He knows. He sees. He sees the interceptors. How many infestors? We have 2 infestors and 2 vipers. We can maybe throw down some microbial shrouds. Levers go up. Oof. Big connections. Getting a lot of value already. Queens are getting picked off one after the other. We already barely have any anti-air. We can't afford this. We can't afford these losses. More Novas going off as well. The Queens are coming forward. There are only 3 carriers, so Darky's holding. He is holding this for now. Biles connect on the carriers as well. And we're looking for an abduct. Oh, we yoink a carrier, but can we kill it? Up. We can't. Despite the abduction, the carrier survives. Darky wants it. He goes for it. He dives in, but he loses so many queens. Every queen in the process. So we recall into the main base. We had the mothership in position. And again, what is our anti-air? GG gets called. There is no anti-air. And MaxPax ties up the series 2-2. We're going to the ace match. GG. GG, well played. Whew. We're going all the way to game 5. And again, that Nidus all in from Dark fell on its face. And as soon as it did, Dark was behind. From that moment, he was just playing uphill, trying to walk uphill, and it was just not working out for him. There was just too much in the way. MaxPax too far ahead, too much of a lead to overcome. Dark, he tried his best there to turtle up, but again, very wise of MaxPax to recognize his lead and tech up all the way to Skytoss. Just make sure he cemented himself. So very well done by MaxPax. And now we're going all the way to game number 5. It all ends here on Oceanborn. Not into the main, yeah, the Zerg main, yeah. He recalls into the main. This is what I meant. Here we go. All comes down to this. The players need a moment. I don't blame them. They need a moment for themselves. They need some time, but they need some time. It's been an intense series, a long cast, and it's going to get even longer. We still have plenty of players ahead of us. We still have Clem. We still have Oliveira and Clem for the world, and we still have Hero for Team Korea. Boy. But again, Dark, he was meant to be the one. He was meant to be the one to stop MaxPax in his tracks. But we had some risky moves, some risky plays out of Dark. Again, I'm not too fond of what Dark did on Equilibrium. I do think that Equilibrium was far too cheeky and a little bit disrespectful to MaxPax. Oh, okay. We're just getting an update. I mean, it is getting late. It is getting late. Okay, so this was supposed to be a 2-day event. We cast it on Thursday, and we cast it here on Monday as well. And we are just getting an update. It looks like this is going to be our last series. We will conclude Korea versus the world. We will conclude the Cao Shuai Cup next week. Next week is the finale. 1 week from now, same day, Monday. Now that's a good thing and a bad thing. It's a good thing because it means that we can sleep. It means that I can get some rest before ESL Americas. The rough thing about it is that it means that we will miss out on some games next week, because just like this week, we're going to be casting ESL Asia. We're going to be starting the cast with ESL Asia. We're going to finish ESL Asia, and by the time we do, Korea versus the world, they're already going to be a couple of games in, so we will miss out on some of those matches, unfortunately, unless ESL Korea is a fast one, unless like we get some quick games and some quick matches, which happens sometimes, but it's a bit of a rarity. It's a bit of a rarity. So I wish we could cast everything. I wish we could cast it all, but we do have to pick and choose. And here we go. The players are ready. We're getting into the final game of this best of 5. It all ends here. One way or another. One player advances on and the other is eliminated. We are loading in to Oceanborn. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Oceanborn, we have the red Zerg player representing Dragon Kaiser Gaming, but also representing Team Korea. It is Dark. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Danish Protoss player representing Storm Gaming and also representing the world. It is MaxPax. It's going all the way to game 5. And the question becomes, once again, Dark, this is what we saw over on Alkione, if you remember, over on the map Alkione, where Dark, he does kind of wait for the probe to move out. There we go, and he will get his natural. Now, this is a little bit inefficient because it means that one extra drone isn't doing anything and is losing mining time, but Dark is willing to sacrifice that one drone's mining to expand at the natural. So he does manage to get it up and running. Again, fun fact, Dark is the only pro player that does this. No other Zerg pro, Raynor, Serral, Solar, Ragnarok, no DRG, no one else does that. This is just a Dark thing where every now and then he just sends out 2 drones just to make sure he can expand. And as we saw, I think it was on Alcione, or maybe it was a previous map, as you saw, sometimes it just doesn't work out and the probe stays at the natural and you just have to take the unnatural anyway, and you're a little bit even further behind. So yeah, it's a risk that Dark takes, and sometimes it pays off. Sometimes. As for now, it is a hatch gas pool back at home. MaxPax also going for his own standard opener as well. And Oceanborn, also not a bad map for some queen walks. If we wanted to walk the queens across the map, if we wanted to have them waddle out, not a bad map for it. Just saying. And we've been seeing a lot of queen walks out of Dark. We saw attempted Nidus, and the Nidus did fail, unfortunately, for Dark. But we can go for something else entirely. Meanwhile, Stargate opener out of MaxPax. Once again, we've seen the Stargate every game so far, not just in this series, but also against Solar as well. Stargate openers, very standard, very solid opener here from our Protoss. Here we go. Well, Dark's just going to be scouting the edges of the map. Doesn't want to get caught off guard. A third base is being taken. And, oh, once again, Void Ray first. I like it. Void Ray first here from MaxPax will be shutting down these overlords, giving him some more peace of mind and security. It does mean that MaxPax now won't be able to do as much economic damage, but we've spoken about this before when referring to players like Hero and some of these other Protosses, but MaxPax, I think he's recognized that Dark's queen movement and positioning is just too good, and these initial oracles, they just aren't really doing much damage. They aren't really getting too many worker kills, so it's worth it here to just get a Void Ray first, shut down these overlords. Sure, it means that he has less damage potential across the map, but he wasn't going to kill workers anyway. He's going to be following it up with an oracle, and what is important is scouting, so still going to be active with his Void Ray, active with his oracle to scout, but less emphasis on worker kills. There's second Oracle is on the way. Overlord gets a tumor at least. Gets one tumor here at the natural. Queens are keeping up. Likewise in the main base we have one queen and a spore. The third is more exposed, but there's nothing to take advantage of. As the Oracle dips in. Likewise Dark gets eyes on the third. And sorry, I didn't even notice. That's a very fast lair. We have two gases, we have a third gas. Hydras. Hydras, papi, let's go. 3 gases have been taken. This is something that Dark has been fond of. Hydra Den is thrown down. So Ling Hydra is the composition of choice, and this is a very crisp timing out of Dark. Raynor has been fond of this as well. I think I've seen Cyril do this. This is a build that has been rising in popularity with the change to the Hydra Den, or to the Hydra upgrades. They are cheaper, therefore more viable to go for this. Okay, this was what, a 350 lair timing? Very early lair timing from Dark, which of course led into that Hydra Den, which has been scouted. Hydras have been spotted, but at this point it's too late. MaxPax is already working towards Blink and +1. He's working towards a Blink Stalker based composition, and Ling Hydra is ideal against that. Now from here MaxPax, he can make a choice. He can either be aggressive, which I feel like is what Dark wants, or he can take a more defensive route and be very tech heavy. Robo is on the way. That's the first sign. We could be seeing a slower 4th base, more stack defense. There we go. Cannons, shield batteries are on the way. 4th base soon to be on the way, and we can throw down a second Robo and a robotics base to get into Colossus. So it's looking like MaxPax is just taking a more defensive approach here. And Dark is typically one to recognize this. He's taking a 4th. And as soon as Dark catches wind that his opponent is not going to be aggressive, Infestation Pit. That's when we see an Infestation Pit, Fast Hive, into Fast Lurkers. Dark is just so good at that. For now, though, he is unaware. For now, he's amassing Hydras, making more Lings. For now, he's looking committed. And I worry if he commits too much. There's the second Robo. There's the Robotics Bay. So as we mentioned before, as soon as we saw the stack defense being thrown down, it's a very tech-heavy style here from MaxPax. It means that he isn't vying for map control, he isn't pushing out, he isn't being aggressive. And again, Dark needs to realize this, and there it is! Infestation Pit and Lurker Den, he knows. So Dark now realizes that his opponent is being very tech-heavy, and he's going to do the same. He's rushing into Hive Tech, into Lungers. So even though he was initially working on a push, and he invested a lot, right? He's got quite a large Hydra Ling army. As soon as he realizes what's going on, he is transitioning. Now he does get eyes on this 4th base, and it is looking vulnerable, so Dark is looking to make use of this army. He's moving out. And he's looking to deny this 4th. There's a station trap, but over on the right-hand side, cannons and shield batteries are on the way. Dark, does he have enough? Again, he has to be very careful not to lose too much here in this attack. Gets one, gets 2 oracles, and he does deny the 4th. Takes it down, forces a cancel, and backs off. He doesn't have to commit, he doesn't have to fight. Just denies the 4th base. He's got a Ling here on the right hand side, making sure that no other base is taken. Hive is on the way. The Hive grants access to Vipers and to the Lurker upgrades. And Lurker's a king against ground toss, and MaxPax is working on just that, working on those Colossus. So again, a really good reading of the situation for Dark. Really good adaptation and reaction. Now, the turntables here. Now it's on MaxPax. He needs to, now it's on him to realize what's going on. As soon as he catches wind of these Lurkers, we need to see a more defensive position here. And Sky Toss. And Disruptors, of course. We need Disruptors to hold on to survive the first wave, the first push, and then work towards Sky Toss. It is very difficult to stay on a ground army against a Lurker-heavy composition, especially once Vipers hit the field. Here we go, MaxPax, he does spot them. He's going for some Prism Harass on the right-hand side. Ooh, Colossus mowing down a big wave of Lings. Really good start from MaxPax. Prism slips in. And Dark is being pulled apart. On top of that, MaxPax is looking to outposition these Lurkers. The Lurkers are not here. Lurkers are being caught out. And MaxPax, he finds his way towards that 3rd. Doesn't commit though. Doesn't want to overextend. Oh, there are lurkers everywhere. He's going to be very careful. As he is deep in enemy territory. Lurkers on the left, on the right. And MaxPax doesn't gain any ground. Oof. Yeah, tries to push forward, but is taking quite a bit of damage. And that lurker count is just getting higher and higher. Lurker drop being sent out. And MaxPax is still not taking... Oh, he could be. Like, MaxPax has map control. His fourth base is getting saturated. He could be taking right now, but no, he is committed. We have more disruptors on the way. He wants to push his way through. Does catch 1, 2 lurkers. Good pickups. But the lurkers, they get into the natural. MaxPax trying to force his way through, but there are too many lurkers in position. Again, Dark going for a big counterattack. He knows that he has enough to defend. As we have lurkers in the main, in the natural, and another army hitting the third base. MaxPax is completely all in. But being all in against lurkers, like, what can you do? He can't force the issue. He can't just force his way into them, otherwise he just dies. And it looks like this is going to be the end of MaxPax. I mean, I say that, but he's losing base. He's losing everything back at home. He takes down a hatchery, but he loses 26 probes, and there is still no answer. Now he turns back around. He's coming back home. But how much of a home does he have left? He's on 3 bases. He is on 3 bases. Is going to be able to clean up this army, clean up these lurkers. We can see Dark trying to trade as best he can before he loses these Hydras as well. As the Hydras will fall at the same time, lurkers come in for a big backstab. They don't go for the Nexus. Dark backs off. He doesn't want to overextend. He's done well. Dark has done well for himself. He successfully defended and he counterattacked. But he also lost a hatchery. He's on 4 bases. He wants a 5th. And 5th bases on Oceanborn are difficult to hold on to. You can see how isolated this 5th base is. And yeah, we will force a cancel. MaxPax is still in this. Novas are going off. The Novas have now joined the army. Now with these disruptors, we have a better chance against these lurkers. The Vipers need time. Oh. Again, we're trying to outposition Dark. Trying to catch him out if possible. Zealot comes in. Good Nova. Oh, so 1 lurker goes down. Drones are falling. Dark struggling a little bit. Still has a better economy than his opponent, and we're going for a Nidus into the main. Do we recall back home? Do we recall? We don't see it. Here's the Skytops transition. This is something that I feel like we needed earlier. Fleet Beacon, Stargate's on the way, but the lurkers are within range. And we do recall back home. Into lurkers, no! Colossus goes down. Massive spine shots are going off, and at the same time, Dark pushes towards the 4th base, towards the 3rd even. Decent Novas, but we have the yoinks. All 3 disruptors go down, and MaxPax is being pulled apart. GG gets called, and Dark takes game number 5 and takes the series 3-2, eliminating MaxPax. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations, Dark does it, and again, I liked the plan from Team Korea. I do think that Dark was the best chance to bring down MaxPax. He had some fun in this series. He was a little bit cavalier and a little bit wild with some of his builds, but I do think that he was the one to bring him down, and this means that now there are only Terran left for the world. The world, they have to rely on Clem and Oliveira. Meanwhile, it's going to be Clem and Oliveira versus Dark and Hero. And again, Hero is terrifying in PvT. So best of luck. Best of luck to the world. Best of luck to Team Korea. as we are tied up in this series 3-3, if I'm not mistaken. Is it 3-3? We are tied up in this series, and we will have our conclusion, we'll have our finale next week. Next week on Monday. So mark your calendars, be sure to be here. Just like today, it's going to be after ESL Asia. So we're going to be casting ESL Asia first, then into Korea versus the world, into the Cao Shuai Cup. It's going to be amazing, it's going to be beautiful. But alas, I'm pretty sure that next week we will also be missing out on some of the first matches. It's not ideal, but ESL Asia and this tournament, they do clash a little bit, they do overlap, so it means that we will be missing some games, but hopefully not too much. Hopefully not too much. Was that the last series? Yes, last series. As you can see, oh, I love the updated graphic. 3-3. You can see who's been eliminated. The faded out players. 2 players left for each team. Ah, beautiful. Beautiful. Shout out to WTL, of course, for bringing this together. Shout out to SC Boy for making this dream a reality. It's beautiful. But yeah, with that, thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for the support. Oh, predictions will be paid out. Oh my, no one had faith in Dark? Mate, what's going on? Shaking my head, Poppy, shaking my head. But predictions are paid out. And yeah, with that, we are going to be ending the broadcast for the night. We're going to be returning in a couple of hours. Let me just double check here. Okay, 8 hours. In 8 hours time, we will return with ESL Open Cup Americas. So if you want some more StarCraft, if you want some more StarCraft 2 action, in 8 hours time, we're going to be returning here with ESL Open Cup Americas. I'm going to bed. I'm going to go get some rest. And then by the time we wake up, we're going to be able to go right into some more StarCraft casting. See you then. See you tomorrow. I believe tomorrow we only have the 1 broadcast. I know usually we have like 2 or 3 in a day, but tomorrow only ESL Americas. And that means that after ESL America, we can stream. We can ladder, Papi, we can ladder. If you are interested, if you enjoyed the cast, and if you want some more CranKy Duckling action, then we got you covered. We got you covered with our social media. Exclamation mark socials in the chats. We have Twitter, we have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have a YouTube channel, and we have a Discord server as well. So again, you can follow us if you want to be notified for when we go live. Otherwise, if you want to follow myself, I'm light_VIP. I have my own personal Twitch channel if you are interested. I do stream whenever I can. I didn't stream today because I knew today would be a long cast. I knew that we'd go deep into the night. It's almost 3 a.m. Almost 3 a.m. here in Australia. Aye. But again, regardless, yeah, I'm gonna be streaming tomorrow after ESL Americas. Just some chill Zerg ladder sessions. If you're interested, you can follow me. Otherwise, follow us on the CranKy Ducklings. All things CranKy Ducklings. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your support. We appreciate it, and we'll see you guys in 8 hours for some more StarCraft 2 action. Until then, hasta luego. Bye.